We're live.
We're live.
We're live. Hello, everybody. Good evening, and welcome to our sponsored Sleep Out live stream. It's great to have you guys here. It's great to see you. We've got a lot planned for the next 45 minutes, hour or so, and we're chuffed that you're here. You're involved. It's great. I'm Josh. Just to say, I'm a camp leader with Compass Camps. I'm currently out in my garden in Birmingham, not in my tent. My tent is just behind me, but the Wi-Fi wouldn't stretch far enough, so I'm just kind of sat on a chair just outside the back door. You might be able to hear the traffic noise going past. Being in the second city, it gets noisy. But my tent's ready to go. I'm in my sleeping bag, got my woolly hat on, but it's still chilly. I don't know how you're doing, but it's kind of, I reckon, 1 degree above zero here. So it's pretty chilly. Do get involved in the comments as well. Let us know where you are. Let us know who you are, where you are, and what the temperature is where you are. How chilly it is. Let us know. Get involved in the chat. But it's all to raise money for the work of Compass Camps. That's why we're doing this tonight. And so we really appreciate everything that you're doing, the hard work you've gone to in putting up your tents, braving the cold, and not to mention the effort you've gone to in getting sponsors and things like that. We can't thank you enough. Any money raised tonight, or whenever you're doing your sleep out, if it's another night, but any money raised will make a huge difference to Compass Camps, allowing us to continue the work that we do and share the good news of Jesus Christ with young people every year. So as you may know, we are in need of some new tents. That's the big thing that we're raising money for this evening. We'd love to buy 3 new tents, which we estimate will cost around £200 each. So our target is £600. Anything above that will go towards the ongoing costs of running camp, which is becoming more and more expensive. So thank you for everything that you've done, and we'll give an update on how much has been raised so far at the end of the evening, knowing that probably there'll be more coming in afterwards as people finalize sponsors and get it over to us. Now we'd love you to get involved in the evening, not just by commenting in the live chat about how chilly it is where you are, but yeah, you might be watching from wherever you are in the country, up and down the country, maybe even around the world. There might be some people from other countries watching. I don't know. But yeah, get involved in the live chat. Let us know how you're doing. Also, send us a picture of you in your tent. Show us what you're up to. Email those pictures to the email address which will hopefully be in the live chat now, if Brian will oblige. Let us know what you're up to. Let us see your tents. We'd love to see your setups. And also, we're going to be running a hot chocolate competition. So make yourself a hot chocolate. Get your whipped cream and marshmallows out. Maybe even a flake. Oh, Ula's got his hot chocolate ready to go already.
It's looking really nice here, I think.
Say that again, Ula.
It's looking really good here.
It's a great looking mug.
Yeah, I can't really tip it without pouring it everywhere, so I'm not really sure. You can just see some marshmallows bobbing there.
Yeah, don't tip it anymore. But yeah, that's that's great. So yeah, get your hot chocolates made. Send us a picture of your hot chocolate to the same email address, and we'll choose a winner based on how good they look. So Ula's set the bar so far for the evening. It's a great mug. But maybe your whipped cream can be even taller, and there'll be chocolate sprinkles on it or something. My hot chocolate's on its way, I believe. So and there's going to be a prize for the winner, so well worth doing. Now, one of our leaders, Brian, is going to give us a brief history of camp in a minute. It's great to hear kind of where camp's been over 48 years that it's been held, and to hear what God's done in that time. So we'll be looking forward to that. But first of all, we're just going to go down memory lane for a minute or two. Here's just a few of the best pictures from Camp 2023 to get you all nostalgic before Brian goes back even further in time.
This one. Okay, so Josh has asked me to give you a brief history of camp. Just let me share my screen. I've got a short presentation. Not that one. Technical problems. Try that again. Okay, so yeah, Josh has asked me to give a brief history of camp. It's a standing joke on camp that I've been around camp for forever, and that's well, because I have. So I've put a few photos together from like many years of camp, going back as far as I can, and hopefully you see some familiar faces, maybe faces that maybe look familiar, maybe look like some of the people that you know as campers now. And there's some old leaders, some people who have children who are now on camp. So put in a chat if you recognise anyone. They'll just come up as I'm speaking and sharing a few thoughts on what's gone on at camp over the years. So let's start at the beginning. My dad was pastor of a Baptist church in Hebden Bridge, and he ran the first camp in 1975. Took the church youth group out camping for the week, and then I've been going since 1976. So I missed the very first year, but since then I've been on every camp since. It was really nice to have Isaac on camp, his first camp this year, and families have always been sort of involved in camp right from the beginning. So the first photos here, this is actually from 1979, so not the very first camp, but we got my dad and mum who ran the camp, and then in the middle, myself and my elder sister, and then bottom right, my little sister who was just 9 months old at the time. So it's not unusual for babies like Isaac and my sister to be on camp, and it's good to meet everyone. So it's just good to be with the family, and those younger ones, and I went from being little as I was then, and as a camper, and then came back as a leader. So in some ways, camp hasn't really changed very much. It's a fun camping holiday. We do outdoor activities and Bible teaching, and those core things are pretty much the same, but there has been a lot that has changed. The very first camp was in the Yorkshire Dales, a village called Ostwick, and it was very basic. We camped on a farmer's field. There was a hen coop. We washed from a tap at a cow trough. The meeting room and the meals we had at the Methodist Chapel, which was in the village, which was about 1.5 miles walk away. Quite a hill between the two as well. So if you forgot your Bible or your notebook, there was no running back to the tent to get it, that we can do now. Activities, they were mostly walking at the very beginning, but gradually added some more adventure sports like rock climbing, canoeing, sailing. And because we were in the Yorkshire Dales, there was a lot of caving in the area, so we did potholing as well. In 2005, we moved camp to the Lake District, and that was actually Eunice's first camp in a place called Rydal. And then since 2006, we were based in Coniston, firstly at the secondary school, and then at the sports centre, which many of you will be familiar with. Nice camping compared to what it was originally. A nice flat field. We had showers, a really good kitchen, nice rooms to meeting. So as it's been, I guess, mod cons compared to what we had at the very beginning. And for activities, because we're in the Lake District, we partnered with Stuart from Climb 365, and he's been running the activities for us since around about that time. And because the Lake District is full of gills, we added gill scrambling to the activities. Despite changes in venue, there's supposed to be timing on the presentation, but it hasn't been working. So I'll have to. I didn't realise that was stopped. So I'll keep sort of folding on to some of these. If you spot anyone that you recognise, then give a shout out. So despite the changes in activities and the program, then everything was pretty much the same. Camp started the day with a morning meeting, and then after lunch we go out on the outdoor activities, and then come back, have a nice dinner. Always had fabulous cooks, and then games in the evening, and then finish with the tent prayers. So right from the very beginning, that's kind of pretty much the same format that Camp's taken, and hope everyone enjoys that format that we've had. So just got a couple more, getting a little bit more modern now with the photos, just a couple more to show you. You might recognise some of these people more from current leaders. This one's from 2015, which I think was Josh's first year on camp. You can see him at the back there, looking a bit younger. And then that's Motley Crew from just a few years ago. So I've shown lots of people. I've talked about what's been going on at camp, but shown lots of photos of people, and that's because camp's not so much about where it's been held or what things we've done. It's really about the lives that God's changed. Camp is about the friends that we make on camp with other campers and leaders, friendships that can last a lifetime, but more importantly, our friendship and our relationship with God. the history of camp is really a testimony to God's grace that camp has been a blessing to so many people. And I just want to finish with some photos of Isaac from this year. Just as I was a camper from the very beginning, my little sister was there as a baby. I pray that from in maybe 50 years from now, that Isaac will be sharing the history of camp with a new generation of campers and telling them what campers meant to him all the years that he's been there. Thank you.
Smashing. Thanks a lot, Brian. I pray the same thing. It's great that camp would still be that God would still be blessing us as a camp in 50 years' time. Fantastic. Great to see what God's done over the last, we're not quite 50 years, 48 years, but yeah, it's great. Anyway, moving on. Big news. I've now got my hot chocolate. And Ula's mug was nice, but this one out. Oh, Old Man of Coniston. If you were listening to Brian, you'll know the significance of my mug. I've got whipped cream. I don't know if you can see. I've got whipped cream. I've got sprinkles on there as well. Thank you to Eunice who's made it for me. But there is one thing missing, and that's the marshmallows, because we didn't have any marshmallows in the house. And that's where Ula and Dave come in. Ula and Dave again. Oh, before they do, just a reminder: do send us your pictures of hot chocolate, and we'd love to see them. Matt's going to be judging them. Ula and Dave are going to be playing a game for us, aren't you guys? Yeah. They're going to be building marshmallow towers. So they've got the marshmallows ready. But first of all, let's introduce Ula and Dave. Ula, hello, Ula. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Yeah.
What have you? So it's been what's it been? 4 or 5 months since camp in the summer this year. What have you been up to in the last 4 or 5 months?
Well, just a few things. Normal life of ministry carrying on at Ulverston, which is going really well. And in other big news, my wife and I are expecting our first child, who is due next year in April. So by next year on camp, we will have another little mini camper who may come along and join for some of the days. We're looking forward to that.
Fantastic. That's great. Little baby hunts next year. What was your, so thinking back, what was your favourite moment of Camp 2023 this year?
I think it's quite hard to pick a single favourite moment, because there have been just so many great fun camps. Sort of moments on camp. Sorry. Also, like, you know, after several years, that you just got these great moments of like, which year was that? And you're like remembering the campers and leaders that you were with. I think one of the standout ones for me, and it might seem a strange one, is from the last day of camp as we were packing down, and those who were on camp or picking up campers from camp or waiting to get picked up. It was so wet, wasn't it? It wasn't very cold, but it just was chucking it down from the start. And I just remember fairly early on just being so completely wet through. I thought, I can't get any wetter. And I just then didn't care about getting any wetter. And I thought, this is great. I've already reached that threshold. And it was just a lot of fun, actually, packing down kind of that nervous energy you've had of being at it all week. Missing camp, but then, you know, when it's like this, you're like, well, if camp kept going, we'd all be very wet. So it was just like a good way to finish off camp and just enjoy the physical activity and then get home and have a good long bath.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, Ula. Nice one. And Dave, your rival in marshmallow building, marshmallow tower building. How you doing, Dave? You all right?
Yeah, I'm very, very well. I'm just having a few lighting issues at the moment. Try
Yeah, we
not
can
to.
talk about.
I don't want it to be too dark, but I don't want to blind myself either.
No, yeah. Don't, whatever you do, don't do that. Don't blind yourself.
So
What have you been up to since camp this year, then, Dave?
I've been to a couple of weddings. I've just climbing and kayaking and generally doing stuff in the outdoors. And
Brilliant. Camp just carries on by the sounds of it.
yeah, and catching loads of mice recently. We've just caught 7 in the last week or something.
Wow, what, like in the house? Or?
Yeah.
Oh wow, okay. So bringing the outdoors in.
It does feel a bit like camp at times.
And thinking back, what was your favourite moment from camp this year?
I think that probably just the time that we got to spend on a field, like a bit of free time, just to chuck a ball around or frisbee or something. Yeah. I love all that stuff.
Yeah, just hanging out. That's great. Cool. Right. Let's get down to business.
Yeah.
Let's. Have you got your marshmallows to show everyone?
I have actually, having shown you my hot chocolate and then being careful not to tip it, I managed to spill it on the table here. So I've wiped that up. I've got a cloth here, just to tidy up any other accidents, and I've got my Christmas marshmallows here. I'm gonna get them ready.
Get them ready. Okay. So I think the rules are gonna be build a marshmallow tower, and that's pretty much it. Use whatever technique you like, but it has to be a freestanding marshmallow tower. And I think we'll give you 1 minute, 60 seconds.
1 minute, 60 seconds.
We'll measure it.
Look, we're getting our marshmallows ready. I'm just gonna going for it. Can I eat one? I'll have them.
My connection's not great. You keep dropping in and out, but you're looking good. Shall we say? Are we ready to go?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I'll take that as a yes. Ready, steady, go.
Oh no. How are we defining freestanding?
Oh, good. I mean, yeah, without any other materials being used,
Okay.
just the marshmallows.
I was so confident. Oh no. Come on. I expected these to be flatter.
So inconsiderate of them not to make it flatter. Well,
Dave's doing a wall. All right, I'm gonna have to rethink my strategy.
Oh no, they're falling, Ula. Yeah, Dave. Dave.
I'm gonna have to prop it up though because mine's falling.
Oh, I'll prop it up with more marshmallows. All right, 30 more seconds.
31 seconds. Oh no. I had the same problem with the snowman in the winter. Okay.
Oh, Ula. Oh, it's looking good. It's looking more stable, Ula. God, look at the. Oh, no. I'm not sure it is.
Right,
9.
No. I need to add a marshmallow buttress.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
And hands away from your marshmallows. Oh, very interesting. Wow. Have we got rulers to measure them?
I had one, but I don't know what I've done with it. It's
good disqualification. That sounds like to me.
Is it pulled over, Dave?
Yeah, my whole thing's just fallen.
Oh, no. Oh, gutted. Poor Dave.
There is still a bit of height. There is still a bit of height.
But what height have you got then, Dave? Go on, measure what you've got.
Oh no, mine has also fallen over now.
4.5 centimeters.
Okay.
Good effort, Dave.
After the collapse of my mighty marshmallow tower.
Well, there was yours falling as well.
Yeah.
Oh no!
I've got a good over a hand breadth. I reckon that's like 7.5 centimeters.
Yeah, I think I think we give it to Ula.
Oh,
It was cool. I expected better from both of you. I'll be honest, guys, than 7.5 centimeters.
you
So
say
well
that.
done.
You know, when your blood starts pumping and your heart's going, and it's, you know, you just, rational thought goes out the window, Josh. The marshmallow fear takes over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, I can't comment. I've not done it myself, but yeah, well done, both of you. Well done. All right. So moving on, Ula, I believe you've got a bit of a reflection for us on a passage of scripture. Yeah. And Dave is gonna read the passage, I believe, beforehand. If that's all right, Dave. Smash. Dave.
So if you've got your Bibles at home, we are reading from Matthew 8, verses 18 to 20. And when Jesus saw great multitudes about him, he gave a command to depart to the other side. Then a certain scribe came and said to him, Teacher, I will follow you wherever you go. And Jesus said to him, Foxes have holes and birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to lay his head.
Smashing. Thanks a lot, Dave. And Ula, can I just pray for you? Just quickly.
Yeah.
Is that all right? Smashing. Father God, thank you for your word. Thank you that it is life-giving and it is powerful. And thank you for Ula as well, for the preparation he's put into bringing this message for us this evening. I pray that you be with him now and speak through him. Holy Spirit, work in all our hearts and minds as we listen, and may we know your voice speaking to us individually in the next few minutes. Amen.
Amen. Okay, what does it cost to follow Jesus? That's a good question, I think. Before you start anything, it's worth asking, isn't it? What's it going to cost me? You know, what's this project going to cost me if I start it and want to follow through on it? So what does it cost to follow Jesus? I think there are two equally true but completely contradictory answers to that question. On one hand, it costs nothing. Jesus saves us all by himself. That's what we'll teach you on camp, what we have taught you, what some of us have been taught on camp. We don't bring anything to our salvation. We're saved from first to last as a gift of God. That's what grace means. It's a gift. But on the other hand, so on one hand, it costs us nothing. On the other hand, it costs us everything. There are people who, out of perhaps a well-meaning desire to encourage people to become Christians, they're trying to make it sound like better. Become a Christian, they might say, and you'll go from success to success. You'll become wealthy, you'll make friends, you'll never get ill. But when you look at what Jesus himself taught, he seems to paint a very different picture. There's a really interesting encounter he had that Dave just read for us there. The situation is that the crowds of people were following him, and to get to a quieter place, he plans to cross over the lake. Seeing him about to leave, maybe they're getting into the boat, or he's heading out with the disciples, and a religious expert, one of the teachers of the law, says to him, Teacher, I will follow you wherever you go. And instead of encouraging him, which is maybe what we'd expect, we think maybe Jesus will give him a plan, like, well, this is your discipleship course that you're going to follow. Jesus says something really weird. Jesus replied, Foxes have dens and birds have nests, but the Son of Man, that's one of his favorite names for himself, has no place to lay his head. Now, we thought that seemed kind of appropriate for tonight when some of us are intense for the night or outside at the moment. But what does it mean? What was Jesus saying? In his typical way, instead of giving a simple answer to what seems like a simple statement, Jesus is giving an answer that asks his questioner a question. Because we might, like this religious expert, say that we're willing to follow Jesus wherever he goes. Perhaps we've even done as much. We could have done it at church or at a conference or a youth group or on camp. But do we really know what it will cost us in this life? Would we follow Jesus if it meant losing friends or family members? Would we follow Jesus if it meant struggling financially? Perhaps even having to go homeless like the Son of Man? Will we follow Jesus if it meant that people hate us, people ill-treat us, or just think that we are plain odd? Jesus lived his life in this world as a stranger with no fixed abode, nowhere he could really call home. That's what he was saying, wasn't it? He's saying that foxes have dens and birds have nests, but the Son of Man has no place in this life to lay his head. And he calls all his followers to the same life, a life in exile, life in tents, life as a stranger and a foreigner here on earth. No place to lay their heads. The amazing thing is that Jesus has prepared a home for everyone who follows him. A home that, unlike the best homes that we could have in this life, and that's part of our other news in life, we're trying to sell house and trying to move to a better home. But unlike any of those homes, the home that Jesus has prepared is a home that will last forever. A home in the kingdom of God that is worth giving anything to get. So what does it cost to follow Jesus? Nothing. And everything. We just ask you tonight, is that a cost that you are willing to pay? Thanks.
Smashing. Thank you very much, Ula. We are blessed to have Ula on camp every year. It's great. Yeah, you're such a blessing to us, Ula. Thank you. Brian, over to you, Steve.
Yeah, we got some tent photos to share. Obviously, we're as we said, we're trying to raise some money to replace some of our tents, and I've got a few old tent photos here. So these are some of the very first tents we used, sort of the Army Scout Ridge tents. The order's kind of gone a bit funny on this, so that's Dave's. These are all in a nice order before. So these ones you might be more familiar with. These are some of the more modern tents that we've been using recently. But these are the ones that are getting a little bit old. I think this one is obviously got a big hole in the door. But these ones, these ones we've had probably for maybe 10 to 15 years, so we're looking to replace them. We also had some frame tents in the past, but then we've got a few people camping out tonight. This is, see Dave, you can maybe see a bit of furniture in the background, but this is Dave's tent for the night. He's made a nice indoor tent under his table. We've got
chilly, maybe 15 degrees in here.
Yeah, open all the windows and this is Ula. This is Ula camping out in his backyard. You'll see it's all dark now, but this is what it looked like earlier. Josh in his garden, and Barry can't be with us on the live stream. She's actually at a wedding this evening, but she is camping out tonight, so she's set up a tent ready in the garden when she gets back from the wedding. And obviously the tents that we have are vital to what we do in camp. And this time of night is when it's dark, it's probably a couple of hours before it gets dark in the summer. But when it's dark, we're all in tent prayers. We're grateful for the tents, and pray that we'll be able to get some new ones and keep going for another few years. Thanks, Josh.
Smashing. Thank you, Brian. Where are we up to? Oh yeah, we're gonna have some more fun now. We you might know we have a quiz on camp every year in the summer. Well, we thought we'd have a quiz now. So a 10-question quiz is what we're gonna do. All based on all the questions based on camp. So if you've not been on camp, you might be at a slight disadvantage trying to pair up with someone who has been on camp. But you might get some of the questions if you were listening to Brian earlier talk about the history of camp. So yeah, we'll see who's been listening. Brian, have you got the? Yeah, Brian's. Oh, there he is, ready to go. So yeah, we're just answer the questions by yourself. We're gonna trust you to be honest about how many you got right. Yeah, add up your scores at the end. Don't put any answers in the chat before the end, but let us know how you've done. So, question 1 is, where was the first ever camp held? I'll give you a clue. It was in the UK. Where was it held? We were in Windermere last year. Was it Windermere? Was it somewhere else? Where was the first camp held? Okay, get your answers down. Question 2 is, what is the name of the beach where camp goes every year? On the Sunday, if you've been on camp, you'll know we turn up on the Saturday and then we go to church on the Sunday morning and we go to the beach on Sunday afternoon. What's the name of that beach? I'm going to get Ula to give the answer to this one because I'll always say it wrong. Question 3. How many years has there been a camp? That's a strangely worded question because it's not how old is camp, because there was 1 year when camp didn't run because of foot and mouth disease back in the early 2000s. So how many years has there been a camp? How many camps have there been? How many years have there been a camp? That's question 3. Get your answer down. Question 4. Again, you might know this if you were looking carefully at the pictures. What is the make of the tents we currently use on camp? So we've got a few different models, but what is the make of those tents? They're all the same at the moment. They're all the same make. Even the newer ones that we've got in the last few years just happen to be the same make. So what is that make? It's a well-known make of tent. I'm sure you'll have heard of, but can you remember it? Question 5. We had a shower block on camp this year, didn't we? We didn't have indoor showers. They were outdoors. But how many showers were there in the shower block on camp this year? How many people could shower at the same time? How many showers were in the shower block on camp this year? Again, there was a photo of this up on screen earlier. So if you can't remember, maybe you'll have got the answer from that. Swig of hot chocolate. All right. Question 6. It's a hard one, this one. What did the cooks make for pudding on Sunday on camp this year? Another question about the Sunday. We've asked you what's the name of the beach on the Sunday. But what did the cooks make for pudding on Sunday on camp this year? Yeah. You'll have to think. What was the theme on camp this year? I'll give you that. The theme was books and literature. So what was the book we were looking at on Sunday? And then was it linked to that book? It was. What was it? Question 7. Which mountain was camp in the shadow of from 2006 to 2022? Again, if you were listening to Brian earlier, you'll have a good idea of the answer of this one. Which mountain was camp in the shadow of from 2006 to 2022? And question 8. In elephants, how much does the average cloud weigh? Bit of a random one, isn't it? What's that got to do with camp? Well, if you were listening to Ula this year on camp, then you might know the answer. In elephants, how much does the average cloud weigh? I remember Ula talking about this, but I can't remember the point behind it. Sorry to say, Ula. You'll have to remind us later. Question 9. What is the name of Stuart's dog? The Stuart has been leading the outdoor activities on camp for a number of years now, and he brings his dog every year. What is his dog's name? Everyone loves his dog, don't they? I don't like dogs, but he's a good one. And question 10. How many seats do Ulverston Church put out when Compass Camps goes to visit? Another question about Sunday on camp. We go to church on Sunday morning. Ula will have to answer this one as well when we get to the answers. How many seats do Ulverston Church put out when Compass Camps goes to visit? All right. Time for some answers. Back to question 1. Where was the first camp held? It was Ostwick.
Yay.
Well done. Ostwick there for a number of years. Question 2. What's the name of the beach where camp goes every year? Sorry, Ula?
Ronhead.
Ronhead. If you pronounce it Roanhead, you're Ron. Ronhead. How many years has there been a camp? If you were listening to Brian, you'll know the answer is 48 years. Question 4. What is the make of the tent that we use on camp? They are all Coleman tents. There you go. Well done if you got that. Question 5. How many showers were in the shower block this year on camp? There were 6 showers. And question 6. What did the cooks make for pudding on Sunday on camp this year? Well, it was Narnia Day on Sunday, so they made beaver dam pudding, which was an apple, cream, and cornflakey kind of mixture. Very nice. Question 7. Which mountain was camp in the shadow of from 2006 to 2022? It was the Old Man of Coniston. Well done if you got that. Question 8. In elephants, how much does the average cloud weigh? Ula, how much does the average cloud weigh?
The average cloud weighs 100 elephants.
Okay, of course it does. There you go. Well done if you got that. What was? Can you remember what the?
I can. It was in my kids' talk that I did on the Sunday, and it was sort of saying that there are some things that look like they don't weigh very much, like a cloud, that are actually really heavy because a cloud weighs 100 elephants.
Right.
And things like, so it was like our sin. It might not seem like it's really heavy, but we can't lift it on our own. So we need help. And Jesus does that. So
That's good. That's good. Love
we
it.
learned facts about elephants and clouds.
There we go.
Yeah.
Question 9. What is the name of Stuart's dog? His dog is called Fly. And question 10. How many seats do Ulverston Church put out when Compass Camps goes to visit? 64, 82, or 104? What was it this year, Ula?
It was 64. I don't know that we actually have 104 chairs that we could put out. So
There you go.
64. Yeah.
82 is a possibility, maybe, but it was 64.
Not this year.
No. Fab. So, do let us know how you got on. Yeah. Put your totals. We're trusting you to add them up honestly. But yeah, put your totals in the chat. And well done. All right. Now, John, you might remember John from this year and last year on camp. He's been a few times. John, we're going to play a clip from one of John's talks in a minute. You might remember he talked about trusting his tent, and it felt quite apt with what we're doing tonight. But before we play that, John's got a little message for us, I believe. He can't be here tonight, but he's recorded a little message for us to share with us. If Brian's
just bear with me because we did have one or two audio problems.
Okay. Yeah.
Before, so I'm hoping.
What do we think, Brian? I can't hear you. Still can't hear you. You're still muted.
Sorry, yeah, the audio is not working on the video for some reason. We're getting the Zoom audio instead.
No worries. Yeah. We'll post a link to John's little message and to the clip from his Trust Your Tent John talk. It's worth watching back. Honestly, I was watching it earlier, and yeah, it's great. It's really, really good. I'd recommend it. Whether you're on camp this year or not. Yeah, it's good. Really good reminders about trusting God as well as John's tent. Fab. Well, Matt, do you want to? Yeah. Hello. Matt's here. We'll be drawing to a close soon, but Matt, how you doing, Matt? You all right?
Good, thank you.
Is it chilly up in Manchester?
Is it what? Chilly? Yes. Yes, and I'm in Manchester.
You've got the cats to keep you warm, though.
You've noticed them. You put a tent up, and they have to run around it, as you can see. And I'd like to say, I'm in a Coleman tent as well.
Oh, there we go.
My own little Coleman tent.
Very nice. Very nice. So, what have you been up to since camp this year, Matt?
Well, I have a job outside of camp, so I've been doing some work. I've done a bit of mountain biking, so I've been out with Brian. Happened to be mountain biking a week or two ago in the Midlands and bumped into Ula in the middle of nowhere, like you do. So, done a bit of walking in the Lake District, things like that as well.
Nice. Sounds good. I'm very jealous that you're so close to the lakes. Ula even closer.
True.
And have you got a favourite moment from Camp 2023?
I think there's a few. It was quite shocking one morning to wake up and see an outline of the cooks on the floor where they'd been murdered with a a ladle next to them. So that's one thing. It was great to go up Kirkstone Pass. One of the days we went up the mountainside and got to the top, which was really good. Really enjoyed that. And then something else that stuck out was the time that Josiah took a mouthful of what he thought was orange juice and then found out it was actually grapefruit. It was just one of those really funny moments at dinner time.
Brilliant. Fab. Over to you, Matt.
Well, I'm judging the hot chocolates. There's well, I've only really seen two. One was the one that Eunice made for you, which was really kind, but it's going to have to be Ula's that's the best.
Oh,
Because I could actually see marshmallows and chocolate in it.
yeah, fair enough.
There you go, some dregs.
Well done, Ula.
I feel like I should say I did make mine myself as well. So
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So we could give it to Eunice then.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. Yeah. Brilliant. Thank you very much, Matt. Fab. I think it's hard in this sleeping bag. I think that's about all for this evening. Thank you all so much for being with us and for your support for Compass Camps. We are blown away by your love and support. Yeah, and the money raised. Well, shall we have a look at the current total? Goodness me, it's gone up in this during this live stream. The current total is including gift aid, £464.88, which is fantastic. And I'm fairly certain from reports I hear that is going to go up in the coming days and weeks as well. Because I know people are doing fundraising that hasn't been added to that yet. So that's amazing. Thank you all. Thank you all so much for that, for your support. It'll go a long way. It's a huge help for Compass Camps. It'll go a long way to doing what we need it to do, and to enable us to keep sharing the gospel with some amazing campers each year. So that just leaves us to say, have a good evening tonight. Make sure you wrap up warm. Have fun in your tents. Let us know how you're getting on. Maybe you could send in some pictures later, and we can always put them on social media if you wanted us to. So have a good evening. Sleep well. Thanks to everyone who's been involved tonight. Not least Brian for doing all the tech stuff and getting the live stream running and everything. Thank you, you guys. We can't wait to see you in the summer. Have a fantastic Christmas. We'll be in touch with the final total in the coming weeks. Bless you all, and thank you all. See you in Windermere in 2024.
Bye.